Hello and welcome to today's flight. Today we're parked at Arturo Merino Benitez International Airport in Santiago, Chile. That's Sierra Charlie Echo Lima. Today we're going to be flying to the northern portion of Antarctica. We're going to be landing at Rodolfo Marsh Martin Airport. That's Sierra Charlie Romeo Mike. We're going to be landing on a gravel runway. This will be the first time that I've landed on gravel in the Learjet 35 Alpha. It's also a short runway for this airplane. So we're going to have to be paying careful attention to our approach procedures as we make our way into this Antarctic airport. All right, let's take a look at the recommended route by ForeFlight. So there you can see departing Santiago, Chile, and then across to the final destination in Antarctica. We're going to take a look at some approaches here. This is the VOR approach into runway 29 from pull up. There you have a hold in lieu of a procedure turn, so we're going to reverse course and then come straight in runway 29. Again, it's a short runway and it's on a very narrow peninsula, so we're going to have to really execute this approach and landing very carefully. Okay, that's now added to the route. Let's go ahead and jump in the airplane, get it started, and be on our way. Santiago traffic, Desert Jet 641, back taxi runway 01, Santiago traffic. All right, as we taxi out, let's take a moment to talk a little bit about this airplane. It is modeled by FlySimWare. Again, it's the Learjet 35 Alpha, and it's a meticulously modeled airplane, extraordinarily accurate, and there were actual Learjet pilots that worked on this project, as well as the designer of the real-world Learjet simulator. So it's quite an amazing airplane. I use the provided checklist on the iPad that comes with the airplane. I go through every item very carefully. There are more extensive checklists that you can use, some real-world pilot operating handbook checklists, but I find that the one on the iPad that comes with the airplane is more than adequate. So here we are back taxiing on runway 01. There is not a taxiway for this particular runway at this airport. So we're going to go ahead and line up and take off runway 01, and we do have the flight plan put into our GTN 750. I load that into SimBrief and then upload it directly into the GTN 750 in the airplane. We're just going to be flying runway heading, and typically I hand fly the airplane outbound until I join the course, and we'll make our way down to this Antarctic airport and see how that goes. This is being flown on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. All right, we're on the roll, and today it's super windy here in Santiago, Chile. There's a strong crosswind as we make our way down runway 01. And there's rotation speed, and we are off the ground. Fighting that wind as we make our way to the south. There's gear retracted and flaps retracted, and we're going to hand fly the airplane now to join our course to the south. And I have to say that this airplane is an absolute rocket on initial climb out, typically reaching about 6,000 feet per minute. And here we are coming above the cloud deck. One of my favorite things about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is the cloud rendering. Absolutely amazing. All right, here we are just coming up out of flight level 180. And our final cruise altitude is going to be flight level 410. right, just coming up on flight level 350, making our way up to flight level 410. All right, just coming up on cruise altitude, flight level 410. Okay, we're going to begin our descent here now. And now descending through flight level 250. At flight level 190. And we're going to get ready to set up our approach. And descending through 11,000 feet. All right, we're at 3,500 feet. There I can see the airport. Just off the right wing there, you can see that strip of gravel runway, just over 4,000 feet on that very narrow peninsula there. And switching to an external view, just kind of give you a sense of what the surroundings are like here on this very primitive landmass. There's no CTAF frequency, no ATIS at this airport. You would be communicating with ground personnel right now. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking I might just hand fly the visual down into that runway there. It's pretty good visibility down there, and it would kind of shorten the flight a little bit. Now we're getting the airplane slowed down here. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward hand flying the visual. I'm just dropping the gear now. I'm below 200 knots. And I'm going to put in 10 degrees of flaps. I've just disengaged the autopilot, so let's just go ahead and hand fly this in. All right, there's 20 degrees flaps, getting things slowed down here. So on our right base here for runway 29. Then you go ahead and turn final here now. And hopefully we can pick up that runway reasonably easily. Okay, we're at full flaps. I do have the runway in sight. Kind of blends in there with that terrain, but I do have the runway picked out now. I'm going to reduce my rate of descent here. And getting lined up now. So I'm going to try to really stick it in there because I definitely want to avoid any kind of runway overrun. And we'll see how this airplane does on gravel. All right, we're slowed down to approach speed, about 125 knots. There, looks like Flight Simulator's just introducing some terrain features there. Looks like I got a line here a little bit to the left. All right, everything's looking pretty good. Look, there's a little town down there, like a little village. All right, we're going to try to really nail this short field procedure. Ideally, want to try to stall the airplane just above the runway there. Just reach stall speed. Just pulling back on the control wheel. There's stall speed right there, and we're on the ground. All right, thrust reversers. Looks like I have a pretty good amount of runway left here, so there's no issues with that. I'm going to gently apply brakes here while pulling back on the control wheel. All right, that's looking good. All right, no taxiway. We're going to back taxi on the runway. Again, there's no CTAF frequency, so I can't make any call outs on the radio. Wow, that's pretty primitive landscape there. I'm going to taxi back over to looks like a FBO or whatever the equivalent is here at this very remote airstrip. It looks like there's really nothing. There's not even any gravel here. This I'm not sure what it's going to be like, what it would be like at the actual airport, but we're basically on dirt here. But it seems pretty smooth, pretty well groomed. Yeah, we'll get the airplane parked over here. All right, we overnighted here, and we got the airplane started up, getting ready to head back. This time we're going to be flying into Argentina. And I just wanted to give you some more appreciation for this beautiful and very primitive landscape. It reminds me a lot of the terrain when I was stationed with the U.S. Navy in Keflavik, Iceland, where we flew anti-submarine warfare missions aboard the P-3 Orion aircraft. It's very primitive terrain there. That brings back lots of fond memories. Okay, we're on the takeoff roll. I have 20 degrees flap set. And hopefully this is a smooth enough runway where we don't run into any issues. Doing the rollout. Everything's looking good. And there's rotation speed. All right, good. We're off the ground. Landing gear retract. Positive rate of climb. Flaps retract. And that about does it for today. Thanks for joining me on today's flight, and we'll see you again next time.